everybody from beautiful Marseille, France. I'm gonna do my morning prayers. I can't go live with you guys anymore because Facebook took me down and said, I don't know if it's because I'm in France and they're, I don't know, very strange. So I'll post videos, I guess, just not live. So Boker Tov means good morning in Hebrew. I want to share one thing before I start the Amidah prayer. Something that got me up real early this morning, and I started writing about it and studying about it. And recently, you guys, I saw a post by someone with a large Christian following that using where he said, let me take a break from the guitar so I can get through the Amidah, that he was very disturbed. Well, it actually was just a matter of fact thing. And he was Christian, so I believe a little misled. And he said, stated that using AI tools like ChatGPT is equivalent, he wrote, quoting him, equivalent to using a Ouija board and communicating with demons. Okay, and I want to respond to that. If that were true, then nearly everything we're doing online today, from Google searches, Bing, Yahoo, and even Microsoft Office now with the new Copilot, would be considered demonic, as they all are operating now, if you've noticed, with AI, and often without our even consent. I was using my Word, my Microsoft Word document. I was writing stuff, and then all of a sudden it was just like finishing my sentences, and I was like, wait a second. So yeah, we need to be aware of it and look at it for what it's a very powerful tool. So I mean, it's got its good and it could be used for bad, like everything with Satan. I mean, it's true, Satan is called the prince of the air, prince and power of the air, which we're told in Ephesians 2 chapter 2, and Satan believes he has dominion over communication and technology. But however, Satan forgets, get this, guys, that he himself was created by the Elohim of Yisrael. He is subject to a greater power, and his rule is limited. So he may have be the prince and power of the air, but he was created by Elohim himself. And though he schemes and he deceives, he has no power over those who belong to Elohim and his Messiah, Yeshua. So, I just wanted to respond to him saying that, because I don't believe that it's, Ouija board. But, there is an aspect to it, which I believe we need to look at it with suspicion going forward. Because we're warned that in the book of Revelation, Hazon, that the beast system will force men to worship it. In Revelation, Hazon, chapter 13. And a couple days ago, there was another man who posted a short video. You could tell he was very scared about a dream he had. And in his dream, he had received an email, like, go do the gist of it. He received an email with a link prompting him to, quote, merge with an AI interface. And when he clicked it, in his dream, he said he lost control of his mind and could no longer take back the authority over his thoughts. So he was really freaked out about it. He was controlled by the AI, and even his physical movements were affected. His arm wouldn't move when he tried to lift it, and when he awoke, he was visibly disturbed. So, I was thinking about it, and I woke up this morning, like, actually thinking about it real early. We're warned in the book of Revelation that the beast system, this final beast system, one world money, one world government, will force men to worship it. And I told you about his dream. But I believe this dream, that he was having, because for Christians, I see a lot of, them getting, I don't know how to word it, but it's definitely part of the end times beast system, for sure, the AI. Do I believe that that using ChatGPT and all this stuff? No, not yet. But we know for a fact, that the world is being primed for this ultimate deception of the false Messiah. And there's only one way to be protected, to be fully protected against this possibility. You must be following the Torah of Elohim, Yahweh's Torah, and believing in his Messiah, Yeshua ben Yosef. Without that, without Torah, without the Messiah, you do not have the blood of the Lamb on your doorposts, which were commanded in Exodus, Shemot chapter 12, verse 7. But then also in Hazon Revelation 7:3, I believe there's a second Passover coming, and it's not the same as the one from Mitzrayim. It's going to be the whole earth. Only those with the blood of the Lamb on your doorposts and those keeping Torah, it says in Revelation chapter 7:3, you will not have protection against this horror, coming upon the whole world. So exactly what will happen in these last days, only the people who will be passed over is Israel. Those who are keeping his feasts, his Sabbaths, his Torah, and honor his Messiah, Mashiach, Yeshua HaMashiach. So just as in Egypt, when Yahweh passed over the firstborn sons of Israel and struck down the Egyptian sons, so it will be in the last days. And Revelation Hazon 9 says, only those with the seal of Elohim on their foreheads will be protected. If you do not keep his commandments, you do not have his seal, and you can be possessed. And this is another thing I want to talk about before I do the midah. If you do not keep his mitzvot, his mitzvoteha, his commandments, it was translated, but that's not a good word. It's a blessing to keep his Torah. You Orthodox Jews, you don't have to change anything. You're keeping Torah. You just need to have forgiveness of your sins by the Mashiach ben David. You don't have a Kohen Gadol anymore. Well, you do. He's in Shemayim right now, and all you got to do is ask him to forgive you of your sins. Believe in the only brought forth Son of Elohim and Yeshua ben Yosef. In Tehillim 2, it says that Elohim has a son, and it says, kiss the son lest you perish on the way. Tehillim 2, Psalm 2, 2,500 years before, before the Messiah was ever born 2,000 years ago, it says that Elohim would have a son. In Isaiah 53, it says, and he would be pierced for our transgressions, and that by his stripes we are healed. So we have forgiveness in no one else. For Elohim so loved the world, the whole world, that whoever believes in him will not perish but have everlasting life. For he did not send his son to condemn the world, but that through him we shall have peace and shalom. So that it is so crucial, you guys, especially with this deception going on with this final beast system, and even Elon Musk, and Trump, they're all about this AI stuff, and we know that Satan is the ruler of these demonic forces. Okay, and there's lots of demons. Okay, just 2,000 years ago, remember in Matthew 5, I believe, Yeshua was speaking to a man who was possessed by legions of called himself Legion of Demons. So 2,000 years ago, we had legions of demons, and we've got more demons coming when this bottomless pit is opened up, which I think it already has been. I think all these things are happening right before our eyes, and we just don't see the spiritual realm, spiritual war. There's war going on in heaven. It says in Tehillim 2 that there's a war going on in heaven. So we know that Satan is the ruler of these demonic forces, and he doesn't want to share his power with them. So, that is why I believe the AI technology will serve ultimately as his throne, because it says in the book of Isaiah, Yeshayahu 14, he says, I will be like the Most High. He wants to be like the Most High. He wants to be like the Ruach HaKodesh, dwelling in your flesh. And that's what this, I believe that that's what all that is, and even that is an attempt to dwell in your flesh with this technology, that the nanotech technology could very well serve as his method of, and I believe it is his method of how he will be like the Most High, dwelling in the flesh, desecrating the flesh, and dwelling in your flesh. And I'm going to talk about those. I don't know if any of you read those Left Behind books growing up. I did. And it's interesting. I'm going to get to that in a second. But just as like in Isaiah 14:14, he said, I will be like the Most High. He sought to counterfeit Elohim's divine indwelling within his people. So just as Yah's spirit dwells in those who are set apart, keeping his Torah and following Yeshua, Satan seeks to dwell in the flesh of men. Okay, you guys, through this AI-driven transhumanist technology. And I know this is not conspiracy anymore, you guys. Klaus Schwab and Bill Gates, they've all been talking about it for decades. And now we have proof. And even Elon Musk and what's going on with Trump, I mean, they're flat out saying that they're doing this, and they're merging man with machine. And, you know, the book of Daniel talks about it, how, you know, they're trying to merge, you know, iron with clay. And, you know, that really is a good parallel when you look at the nanotechnology with the graphene oxide in it. And sorry, I had to accept this really quick. And that it's definitely a real thing, and a real danger to humanity, that there would be breath in this technology or idol or whatnot. And yeah, so AI, and it is curious, all the movies we've had over the years, you know, like even what is that, the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Terminator, where, you know, AI takes over the world. I mean, they flat out pretty much telling you that it is going to take over the world, and they're flat out. I mean, Bill Gates says it's going to be, you know, the method of buying and selling, and digital currency and all that. And we're warned in Hazon that no man may buy or sell save he has this mark. So you know, it's going to be, it is what it is, and we're going to have to live through it. But so this is going to be, and I believe that's going to be his final deception, a system where he exercises total control over the minds and bodies of those who take this mark and bring you know, his spirit into them with this AI technology, and fulfilling his desire to be like the Most High. So it's why we must stand firm. We can't take this mark. I believe these, stop, don't take any more of them. If you've taken them, take things to get this technology out. There's protocols that you can take. Dr. Makula has protocols. Dr. Zelenko had protocols that to, you know, ivermectin and zinc, and to flush it out of your system. I believe the what do you call there's I'll post some links to some things that can flush out metals in your body, and that's the big thing, is flushing out the metals in your body. Zeolite is a good one, which I take. So in any event, so that's why, you know, we need to remain obedient to Yahweh's Torah and have the seal. We have that seal on our foreheads and on our hearts when we follow Torah and accept the Messiah of Israel. And we have that covering and protection, just like the Israelites had that protection when the blood of the Lamb was on their doorpost. But if we don't have the blood of the Lamb on our doorpost, we're not going to be saved. We're not going to be passed over. And it's very specific in Revelation that only those that he has a seal on them, that we're quoting in Hazon, Revelation 9:4, only those with the seal of Elohim on their foreheads will be protected. So so important to keep his Torah and observe his ways and his Sabbaths and his Rosh Hashanah, unleavened bread, counting the Omer to Shavuot, Rosh Hashanah, fasting on Yom Kippur, Sukkot, Hanukkah, Purim coming up. We got Purim coming up, which is going to be a blood moon, which is a whole other interesting thing we should talk about. But AI, the vaccine and mark of the beast, you know, Elon Musk himself has said that the goal is for AI to interface with humans. This sounds exactly like the dream of the man who saw himself merging with AI against his will, doesn't it? I mean, he's bragging about it, that he wants this, Elon Musk. And, you know, I don't know. I mean, whatever's going on with Trump, because he's brags that, you know, he's that his vaccine was, quoting Trump, one of the greatest achievements of mankind. And his alignment with every tech company on earth cannot be ignored, you guys. So we know that this vaccine technology contains graphene oxide and computational nanotechnology, which is a step towards transhumanism. And I believe this is the mark of the beast. So, because it said no man can buy or sell save he had this mark or this technology in his arm or on his forehead. So, and then, with regards to demons, the legions of demons in the bottomless pit, many demons have already been unleashed on this earth. We know that they've been here. Yeshua was casting them out left and right, 2,000 years ago. So were his followers, and we see them now, all of us today. But Revelation 9 tells us that even more are coming. In Revelation 9, 2 through 3, and he opened the bottomless pit, and smoke arose out of the pit like the smoke of a great furnace. So the sun and the air were darkened because of the smoke of the pit. Then out of the smoke, locusts came upon the earth, and authority was given to them, as the scorpions of the earth have power. Yet they cannot harm those with the seal of the living Elohim. So to be protected, you guys, from this AI deception, demonic influence, and the mark of the beast, we must be washed by the blood of the Lamb, Yeshua Mashiach. Keep his Torah and his Sabbaths of Passover, unleavened bread, counting the Omer to Shavuot, hearing his shofar and Rosh Hashanah, fasting on Yom Kippur, Sukkot, Hanukkah, Purim, and put on the full armor of Elohim, you guys. Ephesians 6. I love what Shaul said, who was a follower of, who studied, he was a Pharisee, who the Talmud records was one of two students of Gamaliel, Hillel and Gamaliel, and under Gamaliel, and he had two students 2,000 years ago before Shaul came into the belief of Messiah, before he studied in the temple with Gamaliel and Hillel. So, he wrote this. And the Talmud calls him as one who fell away. That Gamaliel had two students. One fell away. He was speaking of Shaul. And so Shaul, Paul, aka Paul, said here in Ephesians 6:12, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Because of this, take up the complete armor of Elohim, so that you have power to withstand in the wicked day, and having done all, to stand." And Yeshua is coming soon, you guys. The world is racing towards this final deception, and we are called to be separate, to stand firm in emunah, which was translated as faith, but to walk in obedience to his commands, his mitzvotecha. So walk in the Torah and the testimony of Yeshua. So Boker Tov, I'm going to do my morning prayers here. And the Amidah, the 2,500-year-old Amidah prayer. And love you guys. Talk to you soon.